Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of parent functions. This is standard A.7C in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 29 of the 2024 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so we have f of x equals x squared, and we've got this g of x, and you notice we're passing the f of x through that, but we're doing something to it. We're adding this 7.2 within the parentheses. So it doesn't call it out for us, but we need to know that we're dealing with parent and child functions. So this is our parent function, and this is going to be our most basic quadratic function, right? The f of x equals x squared. It's going to be just your basic quadratic. It's got the vertex as its minimum, faces up, it just does that. Something like that. This is our child function, and our child function changes based on what we are doing to it. And there are three main ones that we deal with, right? And so we might say g of x equals a, f, and then we have the x, right? And then we have the minus c plus d. And so each of these, the A, the C, and the D, do something different. All right, so this A either stretches it or narrows it. And so it's horizontal, not necessarily shift, but it takes the actual function itself, makes it wider, or makes it narrower. This C right here, this is your horizontal shift. So it doesn't necessarily change the stretch. It just takes the vertex, the minimum or maximum, depending on which way we're facing, and it moves it to the left or it moves it to the right. And then D does something similar, but it's more vertical. So it takes your vertex, doesn't move it to left or right, but it moves it up or down the y-axis. And so if we analyze this, we've got this x plus 7.2. That's going to be right there in our horizontal shift location, because there's no A and there's no D. All right, so if we're looking at our x minus c, and if that gets transformed into x plus 7.2, well, that's interesting because the sign changed. It was a minus c, which is that's the standard form of the child function, and now it is a positive 7.2. So how do we get from a minus c to a positive 7.2? Well, obviously the number is going to be 7.2. But the only way to make a minus c into a positive 7.2 is it's got to be a negative 7.2. So if we make c equals negative 7.2, watch what happens. That we can do this x minus 7.2, and it's negative 7.2. Those two negatives become a positive, and that's where we get our x plus 7.2. So if c equals negative 7.2, it's going to be a horizontal shift to the left, over here to the left, which means I'm thinking the horizontal is going to be the x value, so we're not dealing with c or d. That's going to be the y value, and I'm thinking it's going to be this b. How do we double check? Well, let's graph. And so let's use Desmos. Let's just get our basic. Y equals x squared, okay? And then let's get our y equals our child function, and then we said it's going to be x plus 7.2, and let's square that. And as you see here, the green is shifted over, and what is that x value? Negative 7.2. So that plus 7.2 actually shifted the entire axis and the entire graph over to negative 7.2 on the x, so that is going to be our answer, B.